Okay, let's give this a shot. Alright, so Lester gave me the opportunity to make a video about who each of the bulls can breed. So I'm gonna come back to Waylon. I'm gonna do oldest to youngest. Let's do oldest to youngest. Let's do Tex, who's not giving us a very flattering view, but I can't exactly tell him what to do. So Tex, he could breed Santianna, which obviously he could breed Reba, Dolly, Patsy, and Loretta. That's 5. Then there's Jezebel, Marylin, that would be 7. And then if they're old enough and if they stay here, he could also breed Trinity and Norma Jean. Now, Tex can't breed his daughters. Any daughters out of Tex, he could not breed them. No. Pretty bull. No. Those are the ones that Tex can breed. Okay, now let's go to Waylon. Waylon will be bred to, well, technically he could be bred to anybody. Same with anybody who Tex could breed. He could also be bred to them, except for his daughters, which are Serenity, Norma Jean, and added on to Amber Rose. Can I just say how much bigger Waylon's horns look in person? What, Mr. Huff and Puff? What? Alright, I'll back up. Alright, I'll back up. I can take a hint. But yeah, he can breed anybody that Tex can, technically, that came from other ranches. Reba, Dolly, all those down the line that I just listed. But he can also, but the main ones that he can breed are Tex's daughters. Now that we know that he can, that he makes big calves, he would be probably best to be bred to the older daughters, those being Pearl, Gracie, and now Charlene. Now, that's probably a very controversial thing because, you know, Charlene had trouble with Caroline. But I think that now that she has actually successfully passed a calf, it was with help, but she has passed a calf. I do think that now, since she has passed a calf, that she will be able to have an easier experience with the next calf. All right, let's walk down the line and have a look at the young boys. Okay, well, I just tried to walk up on the bulls, but I hit a rock or a stick with my boot, and it seemed to spook them a bit. They should walk back over here, but we can still talk about them. Hi, this video's not about you, but hi, Chuck. How you doing? So let's start with Prince Willie Joe, because I'm going by age. He could be bred to any that could be bred to Tex except for Santianna. Well, yeah, he could. This is who he most likely will be bred to. Any of the ones that are that would work for Tex would work for him because they are not related to Tex's bloodline and any who follow him. Now, if we wanted to, which I don't think Lester will and I wouldn't recommend, he technically could, very key word, he could be bred to some of Tex's daughters, like Gracie, Pearl, Charlene, because they are his great aunts. Because remember, he is not Tex's grandson, he is his great grandson. Because we had Tex and Tex's daughter Pearl, then Pearl had Joleen with Herbie Horns Hancock, and then Joleen had Prince Willie Joe. So Tex would be his great grandfather, not his grandfather. A lot of people get that mixed up and forget about that. But yeah, he would probably be best be bred to, oh, I forgot Trinity for Tex. I forgot to say Trinity for Tex. That's the one I forgot. I knew I was forgetting somebody. But yeah, Tex would technically then have, I think I was on 9? Or no, that would be 10 for Tex, because I had Serenity and Norma Jean listed as well. But yeah, Prince Willie Joe, let me see if I can walk and have a look-see at the boy. He would probably be best to be bred to some of the younger females of Tex's lineup. The older females, such as Dolly, Reba, Marylin, I think those should be bred to Tex just for the extra bloodline, and I think they would match really well. But with him, this guy right over here, I'm trying to angle my finger so the camera can see it, kind of failing. Anyway, but he would probably be best to be bred to most of the younger females, those being Patsy, Loretta, Trinity. Yeah, those would probably be best. And then same would go for Lord Grayson. Now, Lord Grayson, I don't think ever should be bred to any of Tex's daughters because he is his grandson. So that is a extra line of separation that Prince Willie Joe has that Lord Grayson does not. That's the main difference, because his mama is Gracie and his daddy is this goon right over here. Yeah. But yeah, that would be... So any of what I said for Prince Willie Joe also applies to Lord Grayson, Loretta, Patsy, Trinity, those younger females. I don't think that they would have a problem with Tex because Trinity didn't have a problem with Tex having a Tex calf. Patsy did, but it wasn't dire. It was not a dire situation. Lester was able to get her help very quickly, whereas with Charlene and Danny, it was a very big situation. Now, I'm not going to speak on the cows that are not being bred, those being all the young females, along with Ruby and Danny. And I also would not breed Danny and Ruby to these guys because Danny and Ruby are technically inbred. Now, accidentally, of course. That's not an insult or a derogatory anything. But they are technically inbred because they are bred from that guy with his daughters. Pearl had Ruby, and Gracie had Danny. Yeah. I just want to take a moment and see these boys. Seeing them in person. I will say, Waylon's horns look small on video. They are not. I could not probably fit my hand. It would probably take 2 hands and it'd be reaching for me to fully grab onto his horns. He's got some thick horns. Yeah. And then the ostriches are scattered about. I can't see where Carl went. I think Carl is either in the barn or behind the barn in the tree. The other female over there, I can't tell the female ostriches apart. Did I say donkey for ostrich? I don't know. The other ostriches are all over there by the barn. Yeah. It's an honor to be over here, to be able to see these boys in person. This fence is a lot higher than it looks on video. A lot of it's bigger. Like, these boys are huge. Like, I can see why that one broke the light off of Lester's tractor when they got branded. Or tattooed, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. This is awesome. Alright. Well, that is who can be bred to who and who can't. Now, I thought that'd take longer to explain because... Now, let me say this. I've seen a lot of people with a confusion that Waylon could be bred to not Waylon, that Prince Willie Joe and Lord Grayson could be bred to the young yearling females at some point. They cannot. So, because Waylon is the dad to these bulls, as we know, but he's also the dad to Serenity, Amber Rose, and Norma Jean. Yeah, because he was over here at the JL for a few months, I think it was. Hi, bud. If you come through the fence and kill me, that'd make a killer video. Literally. Yeah, that'd sell. That would get me noticed. Idiot gets killed by bull. That's a Texas title right there. But yeah. But the 2 yearling bulls, they're all walking down. I'm not going to follow them all the way down that way. But the 2 yearling bulls would not be able to be bred to the yearling females. A, because Lester wouldn't, they're too young. And B, they are half siblings with the yearling females. Who's making a big ruckus? Is that... I can't tell who that is. Is that Prim or Stormy? That is... Oop, my phone camera went up too high. That is Prim. It's hard to tell with sunlight. Alright, but that is point of the video that I just made. Oh, Carl's all the way down there. But yeah, that's the point of this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Bye.